Let me tell you a story that happened to me one day while I was down at Yore by the sea. Sun, it was bright and the day it was warm. Says I, a quiet pine, but it do me no harm. Well, I went in and asked for a bottle of stout. Said the barkeep to me,
all the beer is sold out. Try whiskey, try paddy, and yes and no what?
Says I, try cider, I heard that it's good. Oh never, oh never, oh never again. If I live to be 100 or 110. Fell to the ground and I couldn't get up. Had a drinking a quart of that Johnny Jump Up. Well, after leaving the dirt, I went back to the yard, where I bumped into Brophy, the big civic guard.
Come here to me, lad, don't you know I'm the law?
So he up with me fist and I shattered his jaw. He fell to the ground with his knees doubled up. But it wasn't I'd hit him, it was a Johnny Jump Up. Next thing I saw down in Yore by the sea was a cripple on crutches, and he said to me,
I'm a beard for my life, I'll be hit by a cart. Won't you help me on over to the longshoreman's bar?
After drinking a quart of that cider so sweet, he threw down his crutches and he danced in the street, singing never, oh never, oh never again. If I live to be 100 or 110. Fell to the ground and I couldn't get up. Had a drinking a quart of that Johnny Jump Up. Well, I went back to Bedlam, a friend for to see. Well, they call it the madhouse near Cork Cannery. By the time I got there, the truth I did tell. They had that poor booger locked up in a cell. Now the jailer, he said,
say these words if you can.
Around the rugged rocks, the ragged rascal ran. Now tell him I'm not crazy, tell him I'm not mad. It's only a sip of the cider I had. Oh never, oh never, oh never again. If I live to be 100 or 110. Fell to the ground and I couldn't get up. Had a drinking a quart of that Johnny Jump Up. Well, a man died in the Union by the name of McCrack, and they washed him and they laid him outside on his back. And after O'Connor his measurements did take, his wife took him home for a bloody fine wig. About 12 o'clock, and the beer was high, when the corpse he sets up, and he says with a sigh,
I can't get to heaven, he won't let me up
till I bring him a quart of that Johnny Jump Up. Oh never, oh never, oh never again. If I live to be 100 or 110. Fell to the ground and I couldn't get up. Had a drinking a quart of that Johnny Jump Up.
As I was going over the far-famed Kerry Mountains, I met with Captain Farrell and his money he was counting. I first produced my pistol and then I drew me rapier, saying, stand and deliver, for I am your bold deceiver. Mon chéri, da. Whack for the daddy-do, whack for the daddy-do, there's whiskey in the jar.
Well, I counted out his money and it made a pretty penny. I put it in me pocket and took it home to Jenny. She smiled and she swore that she never would deceive me. But the devil take the women, for they never can be easy. Mon chéri, da. Whack for the daddy-do, whack for the daddy-do, there's whiskey in the jar.
I went into me chambers, all for to take a slumber. I dreamt of gold and jewels, and I'm sure it was no wonder. But Jenny took me charges, and she filled them up with water, and sent for Captain Farrell to be ready for the slaughter. Mon chéri, da. Whack for the daddy-do, whack for the daddy-do, there's whiskey in the jar.
Well, it was early in the morning before I rose to travel. The guards were all around me, and likewise Captain Farrell. I then produced me pistol, for she stole away me rapier. I couldn't shoot the water, so a prisoner I would take it. Mon chéri, da. Whack for the daddy-do,
whack for the die-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Sherry, whack for the die-o, whack for the die-o, there's whiskey in the jar.
Well, if anyone could aid me, it's me brother in the army. I think that he is stationed in Clark or in Killarney. And if he'll come and join me, we'll go roving in Kilkenny. I swear he'll treat me fair than me darling sporting Jenny.
Moon Sherry, whack for the die-o, whack for the die-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Now some take delight in the hurling and the bowling,
others take delight in the carriages a-rolling.
but me, I take delight in the juice of the barley, and courting wren fair wenches in the morning oh so early. Moon Sherry, whack for the die-o, whack for the die-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Moon Sherry, whack for the die-o, whack for the die-o, there's whiskey in the jar.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have been given a sign. No, it's not a sign from God, it's just a sign from the management to let you know that the show that is about to take place right here has been rated PG-13 by the Renaissance Festival Authority. That means we will be perverted and gross at least 13 times per minute. It does not mean, as some have speculated, that we had to clean up the show. In fact, in order to get an R rating, I would have to either kill or have sex with that man right here, right in front of you, and I object to at least one of those.
I object to both.
He never lets me have any fun. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the 12:30 Dirty, the special Easter edition. It is PG-13. That means that we will be obscene, we will be profane, we will be offensive. I understand that PG-13 means that we are allowed one and one only F-bomb. So we'd better choose it very carefully because I really don't want to fuck this up. Well, if we go over, we're NC-17. You have been warned. Who's ready to hear some dirty songs? Usually we get more of a reaction on that one. Who's ready to laugh? Who's ready to cheer?
A fisherman, I thought you put to sea. Do you have a crayfish that you would sell to me?
By the wayside, eye to the eye. Oh yes, sir, that indeed I do. I've got a little crayfish I'd proudly sell to... What? Why are you stopping?
Does that sound like a fisherman to you? Maybe the Royal Navy.
Well, all right. Yeah, maybe. You're right, it doesn't sound like an actual fisherman or an actual sailor, but I've been working on this. I went to a dialect coach, and the dialect coach said, Cedric, it's very simple. You just stick out one arm like this and say, exterminate, exterminate.
Who?
Exactly. So, then I went to a dialect coach who taught me to enunciate the ends of my words, and he said, Cedric, do some research. Go to the east coast of the land. And so that's what I did. I went to the east coast, and I listened to some real fishermen, and I think I can do this verse just like an east coast fisherman. Would you like to hear me do that? Good, because I'm going to anyway. Yes, that indeed I do. I've got a fucking crayfish I'd fucking sell to you. By the wayside, I
Yeah, they've been to the East Coast. Well, I took him home and I thought he liked to swim. So I filled up the chamber pot and I threw the bugger in. By the wayside, I
Those of you just joining us, allow me to recapitulate the plot so far. We have a crayfish with pincers swimming in a chamber pot, over which someone will no doubt squat. This does not bode well for our heroes.
Well, late last night, sure I thought I'd have a fit. For my dear wife got up to
Wash your face! It's a clean song.
By the wayside, I
Oh husband,
She cried out to me,
the devil's in the chamber pot and he's got a hold of me.
by the wayside,
And you thought crabs were bad.
Oh, children, now grab a looking glass. Come and see the crayfish that made your mother.
Pinky finger! Pinky finger.
By the wayside, Oh, children, now let me tell you what. Come and see the crayfish that be your mother's.
Earlobe. Earlobe.
By the wayside, Wait a minute. I can't. Oh, wait. Look. 7 years. Higher education. I mean, like a master's degree in English. And he doesn't even rhyme. By the wayside, Oh, children, now did you hear the grunt? Come see the crayfish that be your mother's.
Cunt!
Wow, that rhymed.
Yes, it did.
By the wayside,
Yeah! Rock and roll!
That's all there is, and there isn't anymore. Now you've got an apple in me pocket, and you can have a core. By the wayside, yeah.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 12:30 Dirty Easter edition. Well, as I look out into this audience, I am so happy to hallucinate some familiar faces out there. Hey, good to see you, Kayla. Good to see you, Flynn. Tim and Cheyenne, I know you're not at this show because you don't like the song we're going to do later. Hey, nice to see you back there. Morgan! Guy with Morgan!
How you doing?
Awesome. Hey, Liz! Guy with Liz.
Wait, there are a lot of people here that I recognize, but
right, yeah.
There does seem to be a few faces.
There's some I'd like to recognize a whole lot more, like that one, and that one, and that one, and that. I'm pointing at all the women, by the way. That one, that one.
Cedric, what are you doing? Are you making a shopping list?
It's my to-do list.
Oh, God. In my world, it's a wish list.
At your age, Hawk, it's a bucket list.
Or something that rhymes with bucket.
Well, that indeed. But, as you were pointing out, there are actually a few faces out there that I don't recognize.
Wait a minute.
Do you recognize them?
If you don't recognize them, there's a chance that they don't know who we are.
No, we can't have that. No, we're famous.
We're infamous.
We're something. Well, okay, if they don't know who we are, how are we going to fix that problem? What could we do?
We could introduce the band.
What a great idea. Shall we introduce the band?
Introductions?
Yeah.
Hi there, I'm Hawk.
I'm Cedric.
I love the way...
I like the way you...
we should introduce ourselves to these people out here.
Oh, all of these people
Yeah.
out here. Wow. This part's going to be really weird because I can't take their hands or any... Of course, I couldn't take their hands back at the fair either.
Oh, no!
Standing in this corner, weighing in at 369 pounds
Hey!
of broken strings.
Oh, yeah, that's me.
It's Hawk, the balladeer. Cheer wildly.
Cheer wildly. And the man standing to my left.
Hawk, I'm on your right.
We decided the world was round, didn't we?
Oh, all my favorite parts are.
The man standing to my extreme left. The man who plays musical instruments like most people play musical chairs. Not by sitting on them. Cedric, the fiddler. And together we are
The Bedlam Bards.
an act of balladry
With violin.
raving musical lunacy.
Mental illness set to music.
We put the fun in dysfunctional.
That's true. That's true. And by the way, I want to mention, for those of you watching at home, there's a special Bedlam Bards drinking game. We do a lot of drinking game. And that is that if somebody in your presence laughs so hard that they snort, you have to take a drink. And yes, we mean you, Sparky. Guy with Sparky, good to see you too.
Oh yeah. Well, hold it. I'm having a flash.
Flash? It is that time. You're getting that age.
No, it's a
premature ejaculation?
No. Premoral premise.
A premonition.
Premonition. I'm having a premonition.
A premonition. Oh gosh, yeah.
You people haven't been to fucking church.
Well, you know, it's 12:30 on a Sunday, and they're under orders to stay at home. I bet you're right. Wait, there's a fucking church? I want to go to that church. There is. It's called Wicca.
Welcome to the Church of the Bedlam Bards.
Oh,
Open your hymnals to page 69.
it's always page 69.
All the other pages are stuck together.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, just once, I would prefer to have a 68.
68.
Yeah, that's where you'll do me and I'll owe you one.
I don't know. I'm pretty much into 77.
77?
Yeah, that's where I get 8 more.
You know, in the campground last night, there was a 99.
99.
Yeah, that's a 69 with an audience.
Oh, God, that's a good one. Let me see. You think this crowd is into numbers?
Maybe
math?
they could handle. Maybe they could handle a little math.
A little math. Well,
Right.
we got one here for you. What is the square root of 69?
The square root of 69.
8 something.
Good one. Good one. Yeah. You know what I really hate though is a 6.9.
What's a 6.9?
That's a good time interrupted by a period.
Oh.
Yeah. No.
Open your hymnals to page 69.
We're going to sing a churchy song.
A churchy song.
A song about a vicar.
A vicar?
Yeah, now, some of you out there might not really know what a vicar is, so let me briefly explain. A vicar is a kind of an English priest. In order to become a vicar, you have to study a long time, pass all of your exams. Eventually, you'll be granted a vicar license.
Vicar license.
You know, they had to get one for the pub. I guess it was so they could bless the beer.
Oh, I think they call that a liquor license.
No, a liquor license allows you to do something else. I've got one. Ladies. Oh, good, that worked. Wasn't sure it was going to. We didn't test that. We didn't test much of this. Who knows if any of it's working? All right. There once was a vicar, and a very holy vicar was walking down the street one day when he heard a little voice say, "Excuse me, vicar."
Excuse me, vicar.
"Won't you help me, vicar?" the voice did say. Well, the vicar looked around, and all he could see was a tiny little frog sitting on the Hawk. We need that frog.
Lunch. It's what predators eat.
Yes, Hawk, I know you're a predator, but no, that frog is an integral part of this song.
That frog's an integral part of something.
Well, it is church. He took it into his soul. All right, now everyone, I just need you to visualize. I need everybody to picture a frog right there. If everybody could just picture a frog. Whoa, you're really good. All right, I need everybody to picture a rich, horny supermodel with a fiddler fetish. Rich, horny supermodel fiddler fetish. Rich, horny supermodel fiddler fetish. Rich, horny supermodel fiddler. Well, at least we got a frog. And the vicar looked around, and all he could see was a tiny little, totally undisturbed by avian predators, frog on the ground. "My dear little froggy, did you speak to me? Was it you who spoke when I heard that sound?"
No.
The frog has to say yes. If only there were some women here, one of them would say yes to me.
Yeah, right.
Well, I can hope. "Yes," said the frog, "won't you help me, vicar? I'm really not a frog, you see." Well, you're certainly not a rich, horny supermodel with a fiddler fetish. "I'm a choir boy, really, but a wicked fairy cast a nasty spell on me. And the only way that I can be saved from this evil spell," the little frog said,
Ribbit.
You see what I have to work with? "Is for someone to take me and put me in a place where a holy man has laid his head." Please imagine that Hawk just put that on the buxom bosom of a wench. Well, the vicar took him home and put him on his pillow. There he lay till the break of day. The very next morning, a blessed miracle. Ding! The spell was broken, I'm glad to say, and there was the choir boy in bed with the vicar, and I hope this all to you makes sense. For there, my lords and members of the jury, rests the case for the defense. Amen. Shame be upon you. Shame be upon you. It is written that in ancient Egypt, cats were worshipped as deities, and they have never forgotten that. And here at the Church of the Bedlam Bards, we like to be inclusive, so we're going to address that issue right now with this song.
My kitty cat scratching at my back door, scratch so long that my pussy got sore.
Sore pussy!
Sore pussy. Just a friendly little cat.
That's your part. I want to hear you say just a friendly little cat when we get there.
My kitty cat sleeping on the castle parapet. It started to rain and my pussy got wet.
Wet pussy! Sore.
Wet.
Pussy. Just a friendly little cat. Well, that was terrible. That was terrible. Some of you aren't singing, I can tell, because I'm psychotic. I mean psychic. I know some of you weren't singing there, so let me break it down for you. We want you to sing there if you happen to like pussy! Woo! We want you to sing there if you happen to have or have access to a pussy. Woo! Access. Access. I'm married. It's not public access.
I like access.
Please, somebody give him some access. Let's see what. Oh, we would like you to sing there if you happen to have come into the world through a pussy. Woo-hoo! that's pretty much everybody.
That's got
isn't
him.
it? No, oh gosh, I'm so sorry. We missed one demographic, and that's gay men who were born cesarean. Huh, I feel so sorry.
My kitty cat sleeping over by the cooking pot. Stoked the fire and my pussy got hot.
Hot pussy!
Sore, wet, hot pussy.
Just a friendly little cat. Well, that was better, but there's still a few guys out there who aren't singing, and honestly, to look at them, I wouldn't have guessed that they were cesarean.
I'm thinking this might have happened to you. I left my whiskey out last night. My kitty cat drank it and my pussy got tight.
Tight pussy!
Sore, wet, hot, tight pussy. Just a friendly little cat.
You know, I'm a little concerned because the last a few jokes that we made there about gay men and all that could have been interpreted as homophobic, and I don't want anybody to make the mistake of thinking that the Church of the Bedlam Bards is anything less than totally inclusive. We honor love in all forms. Yeah, in fact, I believe that if a man loves a woman and a woman loves a man and they're adults and it's consensual, it's beautiful.
That is beautiful.
Right? And similarly, if a man loves another man and that man loves him back and they're adults and it's consensual, that's beautiful.
That's beautiful.
That's totally beautiful. And a similar situation for women. If two women love each other, that is beautiful.
That is beautiful.
Except, when I was in college and they were co-eds and they were making out on the bed in front of me, that was really hot. But, just to reiterate, we're not homophobic in any way. Well, okay, all right. Gonna be honest, we are both straight men. We're gender solid. Nothing penetrates this. So the fact is, because of cultural programming, we're both a little bit homophobic, and I mean, I'm not proud of it. I'm not proud of that. It's a thing that I fight against. I thought I'd gotten rid of all those terrible thoughts, and then one just pops up all of a sudden. I mean, okay, let me give you an example. So the other day, I was butt fucking this dude, right? And he reached back, and he fondled my balls, and I thought, oh my God, is he gay?
Cedric, you should have known he was gay. His dick tasted like shit.
Well, that's true. You did try to warn me about that.
My kitty cat's playing with the rooster over there. Leaves so long, peck my pussy bare.
Long pussy!
Sore, wet, hot, tight, all pussy. Just a friendly little cat.
Sorry, I got really excited there. I get excited when I think about pussy. What can I say? I start salivating.
There you go. The jester stole my kitty cat away from me. Told the jester to set my pussy free.
Free pussy!
Sore, wet, hot, tight, all free pussy. Just a
Friendly little cat.
I noticed out there in that imaginary world that there was a few ladies that chuckled when I said free pussy. They know there's no such thing. You're paying for it one way or another.
Tis true. Just the other night, I was at a bar, and I saw a very attractive woman sitting alone at the bar, and so I approached her, and I asked if I could buy her a drink. I asked if I could buy her a drink, by the way, because consent is very important. And so I didn't just presumptuously send her a drink, I asked. And in fact, consent is so important that I want to teach you a little song that I wrote about consent. Every kiss begins with consent. So anyway, I asked if I could buy her a drink, and she agreed, so we were sitting there enjoying our drinks. And just to make conversation, I said, now, milady, hypothetically, if I had $10 million to give you to have sex with me tonight, well, let me make it $100 million. Hypothetically, if I had $100 million to give you to have sex with me tonight, would you do it? She thought about it. She said,
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, that's what she said. $100 million. That's a lot. She said, yes, I think I would. And I said, well, now here's the thing. All right, now she knew I was a musician, so she knew I didn't have $100 million. But I said, hypothetically, if I had, let's say $10 million. If I had $10 million to offer you to have sex with me tonight, would you do it? Would you take that deal? And
That's still an awful lot of money.
that's exactly what she said. And so you know, but of course, she knew I was a musician, so she knew I didn't have $10 million. But I said, now, milady, hypothetically, if I had $10, hypothetically, if I had $10, would you sleep with me tonight for $10? And she said, $10? What kind of a woman do you think I am? And I said, oh, we've already established that, milady. Now we're just haggling on the price.
A kitty cat, she was raised up in a barrel. She doesn't like people, my pussy is feral.
Wild pussy!
Sore, wet, hot, tight, all really wild pussy. Just a friendly little cat.
I don't have a good joke for this one. We're just going to have to move on to the next verse.
Offered my kitty cat a turkey leg. She sat right up and she started to beg.
Hungry pussy!
Sore, wet, hot, tight, all really wild, hungry pussy.
Just a friendly little cat. Ah, yes. Turkey legs, the official food of Renaissance festivals everywhere. I bet some of you out there have tried the turkey leg. Milady, have you tried the turkey leg?
Yes,
Oh, did you enjoy that turkey leg?
yes I did.
Now, milady, do you know the difference between that turkey leg and the act of intense sexual love?
I don't think I do.
If you don't know the difference, would you join me for lunch at the fair? Now, though turkey legs are great, I have to say that my favorite food at any festival is really the food that comes from the Jerusalem Cafe, your purveyor of fine Middle Eastern food. This show is brought to you by the Jerusalem Cafe, your purveyor of fine Middle Eastern food. Located just a few doors down from the Three Stags, or at the Oklahoma Renaissance Festival, across from
About a mile down the road.
right, yeah, or from here, about a mile down the road. We all live in the same neighborhood. It's great. Or, like I was saying, in Castleton, it's just across from Summersfield and the Maple. The Jerusalem Cafe, your purveyor of fine Middle Eastern food, has succulent beef and lamb. They have it on a stick. They have it on a plate. They have it in a wrap. They also have chicken shawarma. Oh my gosh, it's so delicious. Such great food. But if you're really not into eating meat today, or you just don't want to right at the moment, or you just enjoy it, they also have wonderful vegetarian options, such as hummus. Yeah, I love hummus. And falafel. I mean, honestly, if I don't get some of their falafel every season, I just falafel.
He does.
I wrote that joke myself. Actually, I'm not sure I did, but anyway. I think I may have.
Person I heard say it.
You know, I think I stole that joke from my older brother Glenn a long time ago when we actually didn't know what falafels were, but we'd heard of them, so you know, there it is. Anyway, now of course hummus and falafel are wonderful sources of protein and fiber, both made from the same thing, I believe that down at the Jerusalem Cafe they use
You're a purveyor of fine
Middle Eastern food. Thank you. I believe that they use chickpeas.
I heard it was garbanzo beans.
No, I'm pretty sure it's chickpeas.
But aren't they the same thing?
You know, I used to think that garbanzo beans and chickpeas were the same thing, and then I found out that there is a difference.
No.
Yes, there's a difference between a garbanzo bean and a chickpea.
No.
Would you like to know the difference between a garbanzo bean and a chickpea?
Why, yes, I would.
The difference between a garbanzo bean and a chickpea is that guy sitting right there has never paid a garbanzo to bean on his face.
That we know of.
Probably not, yes. Of course, if you come to Sherwood next year, you'll probably see Paolo Garbanzo, and I hope you have been checking out his live stream performances and contributing to him, because he might have some bean bags at Festival next year, and you might be able to pay a garbanzo to bean on your face. He hates that joke, by the way. He hates
does.
it. Love you, Paolo.
Kitty cat, she's a scrapper, alright. I'm telling you now that she lost every fight.
Lick pussy!
Sore? Wet. Hot. Tight. All. Free. Wild. Hungry. Pussy.
Just a friendly little cat.
Yeah, well, in school they taught me that a picture was worth 1,000 words. I just thought I'd save a few words there.
Good job. You know, every time we sing about licked pussy, I see some women out in the audience who are just smiling. and some who are looking kind of wistful, usually sitting next to men who are looking confused. So, ladies, if you don't get enough of that vitamin C in your life, I want to tell you that science has come to your rescue. That's right, because science has identified a particular kind of man who is not only very talented, but very enthusiastic about performing cunnilingus. According to science, that kind of man is called a musician. Now, I don't want to brag, but as a fiddler, you know, I have a pretty good bowing technique, if you know what I mean, and this is not a joke, ladies. Look at this. Finger vibrato. Now, I don't want to take all the glory. Guitar players, yes, I know they get teased for spending a long time alone doing this. But Hawk's left hand is so perfectly skilled that it can hit the G-spot every time. If you don't have a guitar player or a fiddler, you can probably find a bass player. It's not that hard to find a bass player. Honestly, the problem is there's nothing sexy about bass players. Oh no. Is it time for the sad verse?
Time for the sad
Oh, the sad verse.
My kitty cat used up all her 9 lives. We had her taxidermied on the day that she died.
Stop pussy!
Sore. Wet. Hot. Tight. All. Free. Wild. Hungry. Tough. Pussy. Well, I like pussy a lot. Pussy.
Just a friendly little cat. I hope everybody out there is having a wonderfully good time enjoying the Church of the Bedlam Bards. By the way, there's an opportunity for you to contribute to our cause, and I'd like to mention that all of the money that we're collecting today will go to charity, or to Diamond or Tiffany or whoever's dancing when we start doing it. Have we reached that time?
We have reached that time.
It being Easter Sunday, now is the time for something that we really do only once per season. And our season was cut very short this year, so We're only going to do it this one time for you. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for, the tasteless Jesus jokes. What's that?
Jesus trying to eat M&Ms.
Wow.
Okay, that was pretty tasteless.
That was, well, not as tasteless as a communion wafer, though.
Oh, no.
All right. So, do you know why the women loved Jesus? He was hung like this. That one's a bit of a visual. So Jesus goes into a hotel, puts 3 nails down on the counter and says, "Hey, can you put me up for the night?" Yeah, I know, that's terrible.
It's the one where Jesus was on the cross.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he's looking down. He sees Peter. Peter! Peter! Come closer. I have something to say.
What do you have to say to me, Lord? Say it. Say, I'm down here. I'm listening.
You need to come closer. Please, climb up here.
All right, Lord. He starts climbing.
And there's one of the warriors.
One of the Roman soldiers?
One of the Roman soldiers stabs his leg and pulls him down. Oh, Peter, I need to talk to you. Come up here, please.
Yes, Lord. I'm climbing.
Yes, Peter. Oh, and then another couple of soldiers grab him and start pulling him down. Oh, he's having troubles, but believe in the Lord. You can do it.
I can do it, Lord.
You can make it.
I can make it up there.
Oh, Peter. Oh, I can see your house from here.
Oh, that's terrible.
God.
You know,
I really can see his house from here.
that you can, yes, it's true. You can't see anybody's house from here. We are literally, maybe not miles, but quite a long way from any other human habitation. It's a ways. We're more likely to see a deer than a human out here. And now, the sermon of the merchant of Jericho. Lo, it is written that the merchant of Jericho did set out on the road to Samaria, with his lovely daughter sitting next to him in the wagon, loaded with all of their goods and wealth. And they were set upon on the road by bandits. And the bandits took them and stole all of their goods and stripped them indeed of their clothing down to their undergarments, and left them bereft upon the road. Whereupon the merchant of Jericho cried out with lamentation, "Oh, woe is me! For the bandits, they have taken all that we possess. Daughter, what shall we do?" And the daughter said, "Fear not, father, for while they were distracted, I took the greatest of the rubies from our treasure, and I concealed it within my private regions. We are saved." Whereupon the merchant of Jericho cried out, "Oh, if only your mother here were here, we could have saved the whole wagon." Hawk, do you know why we know for certain that Jesus was Jewish?
Why? How do we know he was Jewish?
Well, it's really simple. He thought his mother was a virgin, and she thought he was God.
Well, that'll get him running.
Yeah, all right. So we're nearly done with the tasteless Jesus jokes. There's really just one more, and that's a serious one, ladies and gentlemen. Do you know the real reason why Jesus died on the cross? Yes?
It's because he forgot his safe word.
Well, we finished the tasteless Jesus jokes with only a few edits. I'd like to say, as the Roman soldiers said on Good Friday, nailed it!
Oh no, we have come to that time in the show.
The time when we're going to sing our most obscene, profane, and offensive song.
Oh.
Yes. Because you see, many years ago, I woke up one morning, which I try not to do. I'm a musician. I prefer to sleep till noon. That's why I work at Renaissance festivals.
That's why there's a 12:30.
That's why that's why our first show isn't until 12:30. And so I woke up one morning and I said to myself, actually I call myself Cedric.
Damn it.
So I said to myself,
Cedric?
very good. In all the years of singing dirty songs, we have never sung a song so filthy and offensive that someone just got up and walked out. It was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
And I thought, you know what? We need a song like that. But, anybody could just throw together a bunch of swear words and come up with really disgusting images and a lot of toilet humor. I didn't want to do that. No.
Toilet humor? You mean like our thrones?
Yeah, like the thrones we used in the... All right, fine. It was really crappy of you to bring that up. Anyway, no, I said, I need to write a song that would be right there on the border between funny haha and funny uh-oh. So that one person in the audience, the rest of the audience would be laughing hysterically, and one person in the audience would just say, I can't take it anymore, and the pressure would just make them pop right out of there like a zit. Perverted and gross, we said, and gross. So
there is a difference.
Yeah, right, there is a difference, just as there's a difference between obscene and profane. And I decided that this song should be both obscene and profane. Obscene is really things that are gross. References to bodily functions, whereas profane refers to something that is the opposite of sacred, so like saying damn, or pretty much all of the tasteless Jesus jokes. Those were mostly profane. A few of them might have been obscene as well. So I said to myself, Cedric, thank you. I spent 7 years in an institution of higher learning. So I said to myself, I spent 7 years in an institution of higher learning. I have a master's degree in English. I have a poetic license issued by the state of Texas. And I could write such a song, an original song.
That's a lot of damn work.
Nah, yeah, that's way too much. I'm a musician. I'm lazy. So, instead, I took a bunch of limericks that already existed. I slapped them together in an order that told a story. I put them to a tune that already existed, and voila! We had our dirtiest, filthiest, most obscene, profane, and offensive song ever!
Almost.
No, it's number one. It's at the top.
No. There was a gap in the plot.
Oh, right. We almost had it. There was a gap. I remember. And when I see a gap, I just want to shove my limerick right up into it again and again and again. Oh, yeah.
Yes, ladies. That is what he calls it.
My limerick. It's short and funny. So, what ended up happening was, in order to make the whole storyline work out, I had to write... You all right there, Hawk? You don't have a dry cough, do you?
No.
All right, good. Whew. So as I was saying, I had to...
We wrote.
Oh, you're right. Oh, I'm sorry. I remember it now. Yes, it was a joint effort. And we collaborated.
420.
Well, only 412 today, but it'll do. But yeah, I wrote all of the words in that verse, and Hawk wrote the pause.
Pauses are important. When you were in grade school, they taught you that a period delineated a pause. If you've ever missed your period, you know how important it is.
There once were two lasses from Birmingham. Have you heard of the scandal concerning them? They lifted up the frock and they played with the cock of the bishop while he was confirming them. The bishop while he was confirming them. The bishop while he was confirming them. They lifted up the frock and they played with the cock of the bishop while he was confirming them. Bishop was nobody's fool. He'd been to a good Catholic school. So he lowered his breeches and he blessed both those ladies with his 12-inch Episcopal tool. 12-inch Episcopal tool. His 12-inch Episcopal tool. So he lowered his breeches
britches, and he blessed both those bitches with his 12-inch Episcopal tool.
Hawk, did you just sing what I thought you sang?
Did you think I sang bitches?
I do believe I heard you sing bitches.
Yeah, well, I was thinking after bitches. I was thinking after cock, bitches was pretty soft.
You know, it works the other way around, too. Now, this was the bishop from Kent. His dick was so long that it bent. To stay out of trouble, he rented that double, and instead of coming, he went. Instead of coming, he went. Safe sex. Instead of coming, he went. To stay out of trouble, he rented that double, and instead of coming, he went. I'd like to dedicate this next verse to my mother. There once was a hermit named Dave who kept a dead whore in his cave. He said, I admit that she stinks quite a bit, but think of the money I save. Just think of the money I save. Just think of the money I save. He said, I admit that she stinks quite a bit, but think of the money I save. That's for you, Mom. She's in a better place.
Seattle.
It's a really nice place. I always dedicate that verse to my mother because it reminds me of her.
Oh, yeah.
No, not the way you're thinking. No, it reminds me of her because when I was 12, my mother taught me that limerick. That is some good parenting right there, and I turned out
just fine.
Just fine, I guess. Now, this next verse actually introduces an important subplot and a chance to offend a whole new demographic.
The
Protestants. Well, along came a Baptist named Alice. She peed in the bishop's gold chalice. She said, I do this from a strong urge to piss, and not from sectarian malice. Not from sectarian malice. And not from sectarian malice. She said, I do this from a strong urge to piss, and not from sectarian malice. Well, we now get back to the main plot involving the bishop and the two ladies from Birmingham. As you recall, when last we left our intrepid heroes, they were in flagrante delicto.
What?
They were engaged in sexual congress.
They were talking?
No, they were making the beast with 2 or 3 backs.
What?
He was fucking them.
Oh.
Well, when the bishop withdrew, a giggle was heard from the two. The vicar is quicker and slicker and thicker and longer and stronger than you. Longer and stronger than you. And longer and stronger than you. The vicar is quicker and slicker and thicker and longer and stronger than you. We have now made it up to the verse that that we wrote. As you recall, I wrote all the words, Hawk wrote the pause. These words caused the bishop to shrink. The vicar is better, they think. So he snatched up the chalice that had been blessed by Alice, and to soothe himself took a long drink. To soothe himself took a long drink. To soothe himself took a long drink. So he snatched up the chalice that had been blessed by Alice, and to soothe himself took a long drink.
Proud of you.
That was really good. They showed some restraint there.
They did.
That's what is known in this business as a pregnant pause. This is a Catholic song. Thank you for not aborting it. And they say there are some things you can't make jokes about. Well, I really don't see how this song could get any worse.
But there's still another verse.
Well, that's true, but man, that last limerick left a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
But here it is, ladies and gentlemen, the ultimate desecration. The most obscene, profane, and offensive verse in the whole song, pretty much. Here it is. Get ready. That drink did the poor bishop in. When he got to the pearly gates there, St. Peter said, nope, you've gone down on the Pope, and that is a cardinal sin. Shame be upon you, and also on you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen and beings of a non-binary nature, for joining us here in the forest on this Easter Sunday. We hope that you are having a wonderful, safe time. We hope that you're staying at home. We hope that you're washing your hands frequently. We hope that you are attending to your actual spiritual needs, and that you're doing that either by attending an online church or simply, praying in your own room the way that Jesus told you to. Look it up. It's in Matthew. And we hope that all of you will be very generous, because this is a tough time for an awful lot of Renaissance performers. And that's why we would like to encourage you to contribute. There will be a link below. You can do that there. Thank you so much for joining us. Any final words for these folks? Not final, you're not about to die. He's not about to die, people.
I got a toast.
A toast!
A good Scottish toast.
Scottish toast!
Buy your own damn drink.
Huzzah!
Arr. Thank you for joining us.
We love you. Some of you more than others. Oh my God, I completely forgot about thanking Lee and Andrew McKee. Lee Helvey, I don't even know how to pronounce your last name. That's what happens when you only know people online. But the folks who run Life's Affair YouTube channel, we really appreciate your help with this. Be well.